I get a lot of my clients just a variety of ways. I mean, my number one thing is to work my network. It's just, you never know who is going to have a need. And the more you kind of
hmm
say, well, hey, I do this thing and here's what I offer, it makes all the light bulbs go off. And of course, my second suggestion is always, expand your network because the more you
Right.
get those introductions to people who might need what you provide, the more you can provide it.
Welcome to the Expert in You podcast, the show for professional entrepreneurs, experts, authors, speakers, coaches, and consultants who are ready to elevate their business, expand their influence, and boost their bank accounts. Join us as we dive deep with industry-leading experts who share their top strategies, invaluable insights, practical tips, and personal experiences to help you achieve extraordinary growth and success. Whether you're looking to sharpen your skills, stay ahead of the curve, or find that competitive edge, this podcast is your ultimate resource for unlocking your full potential. So tune in, get inspired, grab your coffee, and let's unlock the expert in you. Today, my guest is Michael Neece. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me in.
I love your background, and it says our future is kind, and your entire brand and your business is built around kindness in leadership. So I'm really excited to dive into this conversation. But Michael, how did you get into what you do today?
Sure, yeah. I have been in five different industries leading up to the one that I'm currently in. I am a keynote speaker. I
Mhm.
run workshops. I also do private consulting on the side, basically to try to get teams to gel, for corporate leaders to understand better how to build trust and great culture within their workplaces. So, and of course, it's all based on kindness because if you want to build trust, you have to have
Mhm.
lots of like very organic kinds of kindness.
And how long have you been doing this in the marketplace around this particular topic?
Only a year at this point.
So this is fairly new for you. Have you been speaking and doing things in business for many years, or did you come from a corporate background? What sort of brought you to where you are?
Sure. One of my back stories is that I used to work in planetariums. So I was the guy who would have the laser pointer and would be
Mm,
pointing up, there's Orion's belt, and over there is the
really?
moon. And so I've been a speaker in front of large audiences, oh gosh, since 1991. And
Mm,
then my most recent enterprise that I was in corporate America in pharma. And I was a computer programmer, but I was always doing these really fun things where I was building communities and trying to get
hmm
people to hear each other. And so I ran an academy for new programmers who came into pharma and who needed to know how to do it. And a large component of what they learned was what are the basics? How do you
hmm
get heard? How do you make sure that you hear others and so forth?
So what is it you actually sell then, Michael? And then who are your ideal clients?
The ideal client is somebody who believes that kindness and trust and psychological safety are the keys to building their better teams. The teams that are more
Mhm.
innovative and more efficient, more productive. Those are typically the ones where you have a lot of trust within the team, where just a quick glance at a teammate, you know what the other one's thinking. So
hmm
I help people infuse that, and I do it in a number of different ways. I do the private consulting where I will sit with a leader and help really understand what are the problems that you're facing right now. I also do keynote addresses, so I will fly to a location and give a big keynote address, sometimes with a book signing, sometimes with a Q&A. It just really depends on what that client needs. And then of course, workshops and that.
I love it. So, how much do you travel in your business? I work with a lot of speakers and I speak as well, but I don't like all the travel. So, I tend to like to speak more locally unless it's really a good engagement.
Sure, yeah. No, yeah, I mean, you have to really love the travel, and I do. Fortunately, I really enjoy it. I travel, several times a month during the
hmm
busiest season. When it's not quite so busy, it'll be, maybe three or four times in a quarter, especially around Christmas and that.
So, do you have sort of a core program or a core process that you take people through when you're working with them, whether that's their teams or the leaders that you're working with?
Well, I wrote a book that was published early last year called
Mm-hmm.
In Kind. And it basically, each of the 9 chapters has a set of exercises, reflections, activities that corporate leaders can infuse into their, teams. And I can help them with that,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what level of interaction they really want, how intensely they want, to have this change happen quickly. The more they can involve me. But it's a lot of it really is in that book. It's the more intensive things where we sit down and we analyze, who is not hearing what other party, and if you have silos within an organization, how many
Mm-hmm.
times do we think we've told them something and we haven't? Nobody bothered to tell them. We talked
Right.
about it in our silo. We forgot to convey that information over to the other
Mm-hmm.
people who actually need to know it. So
Yeah.
it's the analysis part of it that I actually then bring if they want something more than just the book.
And so are you getting a lot of your clients through speaking?
I get a lot of my clients just a variety of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my number one thing is to work my network. It's just you never know who is going to have a need, and the more you kind of
Mm-hmm.
say, "Well, hey, I do this thing, and here's what I offer," that it makes all the light bulbs go off.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my second suggestion is always, expand your network because the more you
Right.
get those introductions to people who might need what you provide, the more you can provide it.
So is most of your network online? Is most of your network offline? When I say offline, but like through networking, through events, through speaking, how do you build your network and your audience?
I build my network mostly just by having genuine conversations with people in
Mhm.
person as much as I
Like
can.
this?
Over exactly, exactly, and also through LinkedIn. I
Hmm.
love having the ability to reach out to different people, look at what their titles are, see if it's maybe a good, interaction.
Hmm.
Oh, you're a friend of these other 3 friends of mine. Maybe we should
Hmm.
make a connection, and expanding my network through that. I also do have a podcast which is called Our Future is Kind. And
Mm.
the Our Future is Kind podcast really just gives me an opportunity to interview corporate leaders and
Hmm.
futurists and ethicists and anybody who really wants to infuse more kindness into the workplace and into their personal lives.
I love it. So you're building your brand with your podcast and you're also interviewing potential clients. One of the strategies I teach my clients. So I love that. I just want to, one of the things I like to do when I have people on this is not just have them share their expertise and what they do and talk about their business, but I also love to give a lot of entrepreneurs are going to listen to this. And I love to give them a peek under the hood into your business. And that's why I'm sort of asking you these questions. Like, how do you get your clients? What's the best way? I think it just really helps people as this is a business building show, right? So it just really helps them see what other people are doing. One of the things I want to point out is that Michael has a book and Michael speaks on stages. But if you listen to what he said, he also does consulting work and he does coaching work. I see so many people that write the book and think they're going to become millionaires on the book, or they think that, and you not that you can't build $1 million speaking business, but that's a grind if you are doing that much speaking, that much traveling, unless you're getting paid $100,000, for your speaking engagement. And so if we kind of look under the hood of that, Michael has figured it out that he has multiple ways that he's making revenue with the things that he really loves to do. And I think that's a missing piece for a lot of people. How did you learn those things, Michael? How did you figure those things out with what you were doing?
So I sought out people who have done this before me. It is
There's a smart man.
I know, I tell you, it is as an entrepreneur, oh no, I'm all alone. I'm in my office. Oh no,
Hmm.
woe is me. And there are so many people who are out there who are just friendly and they want to share.
Hmm.
They want to see you be successful, especially if you have the right message and the right value proposition, the right product. So I have a coach, Kristen Hadid, and she helps me with so many things from stage presence, also all the way down to the nitty-gritty of how do you, keep, somebody in your network warm. Also,
Hmm.
speaker scale. They have
Hmm.
done a really good job of helping me learn a little bit about cold outreach through LinkedIn, which I didn't know
Hmm.
anything about a year ago. And now it's one of those great avenues for me to make introductions and learn
Hmm.
learn about people. Yeah.
It's absolutely great. So if we give somebody some takeaways today, that they can go and apply to their business or even to their life from what your expertise is, what would be two or three things that you could share?
I would say start every day energized and thinking not just strategically, but philosophically. Think in terms of how do I get people interested in what I'm doing? How do I get people to connect with me? That's definitely one thing. I also mentioned, network. Keep people friendly and warm in your
Mm-hmm.
network by reaching out to them every once in a while, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
just a quick Zoom catch up, like, hey, let's have coffee together over a Zoom. It's so easy. And at least that person is now keeping you top of mind. And
Mm-hmm.
you cannot underestimate that. I handed a copy of my book to somebody. She read it and she thought, oh my gosh, there's this event that's coming up. He'd be the perfect speaker for that. That wasn't my intention. I just wanted to give her my
Mm-hmm.
book. And so I would think, I would say, don't worry too much about the intentions of getting the next gig. I would worry more about how am I just genuinely engaging with people. So that's my biggest trick right there.
Yeah, and always with kindness.
Always.
I love that. Hi, friend. I have an exciting announcement. I hope you're enjoying this episode of Expert in You podcast, but I have to ask you, have you checked out the latest issue of Expert in You magazine yet? It's jam-packed with rich content, powerful strategies, inspiring stories, and so much more to help you elevate your business and personal growth. Don't miss out. Go grab your digital copy now and join our community of experts making a difference every day. Go to expertinyoumagazine.com and check out your digital copy today. Transform your expertise into success with Expert in You magazine. It's not just a publication, it is a movement. How did you kind of get into the kindness part? What sort of transpired there or inspired you to kind of go that direction?
Kindness sprouts from the fact that every single job I've ever had in every industry I've been in, I've been a martial arts instructor and a planetarium show
Mm,
presenter. I've done all of these very interesting things. Well, okay, it's all honorable work and it's fun, but really what I enjoyed most was the people. And what I found was
mm,
that anytime somebody did something kind for me, it made a lasting impact. I remembered it. And anytime
mm-hmm,
somebody slighted me or tried to step around me or on me to get to where they were going, boy, you remember those things too, don't you? Right?
mm-hmm.
So it just became this sort of natural offshoot. I went to a writing retreat. I wasn't really sure what to write. And I said, you know what? Why don't I write a book about business that's
Mm-hmm.
really focused on the fundamental thing about business, which is people, get
Yes,
people to talk to people and hear each other and trust each other. And that's through kindness, always.
I love it. So good. All right. So, one thing that people should really consider when they are looking to bring you into their company, what are some things that they should know or think about, or even a question that they should ask?
I think they should ask, are our communications always easy at our company, or do we
Mm-hmm.
have gaps? Do we find that there are people who are resistant to change, or do we find that change is always easy around here? If
Mm,
you find that things get a little jammed up, then I'm the person that you want to reach out to so that I can help. And it's very easy to find me. I have the book that's out there. I
mm-hmm.
also have a presence online, and I'm just always happy to offer some free advice, as well as, if there's something deeper that we can do together to partner to
Mm-hmm.
get that team to gel, I'm happy to talk about that as well.
I love it. So, what are your big goals for 2025?
Big goal for 2025 is just to get on more stages across
Mm-hmm.
more countries. It's been a while since I've done an international gig. Last one that I did was in April I went to Portugal and that was an awful lot of fun, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just to get on a lot more stages. Another goal is to interview interesting people for my podcast, just to get more people thinking about we have ownership over
Mm-hmm.
what our future can become. Why are we leaving it to chance? Why are we leaving it to other people? So that's the other thing, is just to find really excellent people to put on my podcast. And you have an open invitation anytime you want to come on there. I'd love to have
Awesome.
you.
Let's do it. Absolutely. I would love to. I would
All
love
right,
to.
Ann. Well,
So, Michael, do you book your own stages? Do you have help to do that? What is your system? So let's again kind of looking into your business a little bit. What is your system to be able to get you booked on more stages? Or what do you see as the challenge there? Or is there a challenge there?
I mean, there's always a challenge. I mean, if you're not looking for your new opportunities, then you're never going to find them, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
an awful lot of my system centers on me being authentic and engaging with those who are interested in having me on stage. So, I actually conduct most of those conversations myself, just because I
Mm-hmm.
want to get to know what are the needs, what are the takeaways from
Mm-hmm.
the conference you're about to have, and am I the right speaker? If I'm not, I will tell you that, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
refer out one of my great speaker friends because I have a lot of people who talk on different topics than,
Mm-hmm.
teamwork and culture and that sort of thing. So what is my process? It's really just doing the intake, having that conversation to find out if it's the right fit, and then we have the conversations about what do you hope for people to get out of it? How long am
Mm-hmm.
I on stage? Is there a Q&A and so forth? Once we've got the logistics figured out, then it's getting them a contract. So having that ready and easily tailored for each new person, having that proposal that's ready and tailored so that I can play with that and get it in their hands very quickly. You don't want
Mm-hmm.
people sitting around waiting, if you say, "Oh, I'll
Right.
send you that proposal," and it's a week and they haven't heard from you,
Yeah.
you may have lost that opportunity.
How do you
So
get your speaking, or how do you find your speaking engagements? I know a lot of people ask that and I talk about it, but what is your process?
my process is to be as excellent on stage as I know how to be. And then if people really love my presentation and the quality of it and the content and the actionable items they can have at the end,
Mm-hmm.
then they're going to reach out to me. There's a great piece of software called Talkadot. And you can use that to create a
Mm-hmm.
slide at the end of your slide presentation,
Mm-hmm.
and then people can be in your orbit from that point on, and you can find out do they have a need, and you can reach out to them directly after that. But I found that that has streamlined a lot of things because there's nothing worse than giving a great speech and you knocked it out of the park, and
Mm-hmm.
then to have one person come up after the speech and who they just want to talk and they just want to talk and they just want to talk, and three other people who are waiting in line to try to book you for something, they peel
Mm-hmm.
off one by one, and you're like, no, please
Yeah.
come back.
Come back.
So Talkadot has really, really been helpful because you get that slide at the end of the show and
Mm-hmm.
people can immediately contact you whether you're engaged with other conversations or not. So that's
Yeah.
been really, really helpful.
That's a huge takeaway for everyone. So I hope you heard that and I hope you wrote that down. That's a great takeaway. So what are your biggest challenges that you see in hitting your big goals for 2025?
I think the biggest challenge is just staying energetic and upbeat and
Mm-hmm.
remembering that I am serving people while I'm on stage. I'm serving people while I'm running a workshop, and remembering that I have this opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
share with people some of these great secrets about connecting better in a team and also
Mm-hmm.
within your household.
Yeah.
So for me, that's how I keep myself energized and really focused on getting the work.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great because we know that entrepreneurship can be a bit rocky, right? I've been doing this 35 years. So it has its ups and downs for sure. And, having a positive attitude, having a great mindset, thinking about your purpose, those are all things that make a big difference in being able to keep yourself on track and excited about what you're doing. So those are some great takeaways, Michael. Thank you so much. Final thoughts before we wrap this up.
Final thoughts. You own a superpower inside of you called
Mm,
kindness. You can bring out your kindness superpower at any moment and brighten anyone's day. And you can build a better future with that superpower. So remember to take care of yourself,
mhm.
right? Because that self-kindness, that self-care is really important to help you then boost others.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting if you ever just do a little test, walk through a mall, walk through a store and just start smiling at people and just watch what happens. Just
It,
something as simple as that can make someone's day.
it is pretty amazing. They
Mhm.
did a really cool study where people stand at airports in a line and they start looking at their watch and tapping their foot and looking very frustrated. And before you know it, 70% of whoever else is in that line start doing the same thing. Well, it works the other
Mm.
way too. If you're
Hmm.
smiling and you're treating people nicely and saying, "Hey, where are you heading? Wow, that sure is a nice outfit." I mean, it brightens everybody's day, and then 70% of the people in the line are really energized and happy about
Yeah.
life.
You can change someone's day in 1 to 3 seconds. Just remember that.
I love it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. We're going to put all of your information in the show notes so people will be able to reach out to you, get a hold of you, book you for their stage, grab your book, all of those things. And I thank you so much for sharing today and being my guest.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. I want to thank you for tuning in to Expert in You Showcase. And until next time, everyone, make sure you subscribe to the show, share it because sharing is caring. We want to get experts out there like Michael and let people see what he's all about and let him shine to the world. So thank you for being here. God bless you. Go rock your business. The content of this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Although I share strategies, ideas, and success stories based on real experiences, results are never guaranteed. Every business is unique, and outcomes depend on individual effort, market conditions, and many other factors. By listening, you agree that I and my guests are not responsible for your results or actions based on the content shared. Thank you for tuning in today. If you're as excited as I am about scaling up your influence, business, and bank account, then I have just the thing for you. But first, make sure you subscribe to the show. Second, make sure you share it with someone you care about because sharing is caring. And third, head on over to join me in my next free virtual exclusive workshop where we'll explore proven strategies to boost your business and maximize your potential. Look, it doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're looking to take your business to the next level, my workshops are designed for you. So head on over to expertinyouworkshop.com to reserve your spot and get ready to transform your expertise into extraordinary success. I'm looking forward to seeing you there and helping you achieve incredible growth. Until next time, make sure you're always seeking the expert in you, and God bless. Have an amazing day.